gonna have to make this somewhat short, but it's really just a realization. It's all the things that I've concluded in my life so far about regarding really I guess existentialism, nihilism, meaning to life, and religion, um, and my personal fears. But I think I'm gonna start with my personal fears, okay? Because why not? Um, the thing that really hits me a lot of the time is the fact that I'm going to die, and that everyone I love is going to die, and my family, my parents, who I love, my friends. If I get married, then my husband will probably go first, and I will probably be just beyond depressed if I even make it past like 30, because honestly, I see no point. I can just get started on that. We used to have a lifespan up to like 25 ish, and that was because that's when we have our physical peak. We go through puberty. We become sexually attractive. When we're babies, we're meant to be nurturable. We're meant to be cute, and you reach that peak, and then afterwards you become very like useless in your job of life, your biological purpose, which really is the only purpose, but obviously we're so self-aware, which I have concluded to be an evolutionary misstep. But we're so self-aware that we can make our own meaning, right? Not exactly, but I guess, but not really. Other animals just reproduce. I mean, what are we but a bunch of programmed creatures that I was just watching a video where Woody Allen talks about this, and I agreed completely. It's funny because it's like he puts my thoughts into words. I think we're very alike in our thoughts, and I think it's very funny that I stumbled upon that video about him. It was called like Woody Allen the Atheist. But there's he talked about how people become like refreshed every 100 years. It's just another group of people doing the same thing, and then they're gonna die. It's just over and over and over. It's a repeating cycle. I think it can drive you mad. It's just the same thing going on over and over and over. It's just us doing exactly what the people before us did because we're practically programmed. We might think we have free will, right? The illusion of free will. How can such human-made constructs, concepts like this exist? They're just made up by us. Things like love, all sugar-coated things, really for consumerism mostly, and etc. Like a lot of things, like love, perfect example. Fairy tales, really. And it's just not reasonable. It's like, well, I don't really think sometimes that love is exactly a real thing. We can form bonds with people in order for survival. If it's not a man, this is a bio. This is but we form bonds for the purpose of survival, and then we form bonds with the opposite sex for eventual reproduction. Yes, I know people are gay. I can address, like, obviously that's not really to do with this is kind of like about what the whole purpose of life is. That's how it's meant to be, and I have complete respect for you if you're gay. I don't really care in the first place what you are, and that's in the nicest way possible. I don't care what you are. I will treat you the same. So that's the point of that, but I'll address that in a different video, basically, I guess. But it just scares me because we're so self-aware that we know that we're gonna die, but most people just go to faith because it gives them hope. It's their way of becoming less scared. It's their way. I wake up at 2 a.m. and I sometimes just have panic attacks, little freak attacks where I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. And it's horrible. It's everything that you ever knew, everything you ever said, everything ever is non-existent and pointless and a useless affair. But why not live it? Because happy chemicals and things that make you feel good, and obviously we don't want to die because we want to survive. That's the purpose. But honestly, lots of downsides to life, lots of really horrible people, lots of stupid, ignorant people. And I feel like, some of antinatalism makes sense, or antinatalism, I don't know how to exactly pronounce it. This might cut off at any point, so I'm gonna split it into a couple parts, but it's just like, and now that it's gonna run out of time, I'm gonna forget what to say and draw a blank. I just think about the big old universe that we're in, you know. We're in this just massive place, and we're not really supposed to know it. A lot of people can argue, like, well, we're not supposed to be anything, nothing's set in stone. But I feel like our evolution turned for the worse. We were just supposed to do what the other animals did. That's what makes the most sense, right? But we invented things that made us able to see the outside world, that made us able to see the universe, that made us capable of contemplating existence, and boy, it sucks. I mean, I kind of wish I were blissfully happy, but not blissfully ignorant, rather, because I'd be happier, wouldn't I? But looking at it, like, the whole universe is going to close in. What will your achievements mean? Achievements, another fairy tale thing, an illusion, a concept, a construct. It's just something to say. You're just doing actions. That's what you are. And morals, don't get me started. We invented that, you know. I mean, obviously we respond to things like dangerous things, like, oh, if someone's getting hurt, if someone's dying, we want to protect them, to save the species, you know. Take care of a fellow person. We have emotions, you know. Most of us are like that, but it's like morals, I mean, killing people isn't bad or good, basically. It's just an action that someone can take. I'm not going to go out and do that if anyone's worried. I don't see the point. I mean, you're just going to put yourself behind bars. It's stupid. And then that's even worse. But, and also, I think I would feel some pretty bad guilt for the family. I mean, I would just not be able to live with myself, actually. So, yeah. And I feel like it's just like, it's weird because people try to say, that's morally right, that's morally wrong. That's subjective. You make your morals, basically. You're the one, and no one else can have the same moral as you. Unless they follow a specific religion and they believe in all of that, you know. But, I mean, morals are just they're not existent. They're just not a thing. Actions are actions. Things are just things. Things are cause and effect. Fate is not. Nope. Cross them all off the list, guys, you know. It's very hard to continue living and feeling like, I want to accomplish this, but then it will amount to nothing. It will disintegrate into non-existence. Just picture everything in the world. I mean, you look around, you don't see the whole universe. I don't think we're meant to, right? We're meant to see our survival area, our area which we inhabit and socialize and, you know, with people. Because that's us. That's our little insignificant job. That's what we do here on planet Earth. So I'm going to talk about other stuff in the other video about religion and why it doesn't make sense, and whatever the first thing was. Because it seems I've gone backwards here.